Chris Sutton has just called out a Celtic player for being extremely lucky to stay on the pitch during Saturday's win. A returning midfielder is already looking for the exit door, and we've got updates on Kyogo's future after his goal for Birmingham. Plus, referees are blasting a nonsense call from the weekend, and Celtic's communication has fans frustrated once again. It's been a dramatic weekend. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Alright, Chris Sutton believes Julian Araujo was extremely fortunate to avoid a red card during Saturday's win over Dundee United, branding the new signing lucky to stay on the pitch. The on-loan full-back, making his first start for the club, was involved in a controversial first-half moment when he lunged in on United wing-back Will Ferry. Referee Nick Walsh issued a yellow card, but the challenge, which saw Araujo go to ground with studs up at speed, has sparked strong debate. Speaking on Sky Sports, Sutton shared that he believed it was serious foul play, which warrants a red card. I've got to say, I think Araujo is so lucky with that. I think that's a red card. I do not understand how I think it's serious foul play. He's out of control. Celtic get away with one there, and he got sent off, I think, in his only other game this season for Bournemouth. Celtic get fortunate with that one, most certainly. He was sent off with a double booking for Bournemouth earlier this season. It's a point echoed elsewhere too. The Ref's View podcast, hosted by former SFA referees, labelled the incident as clear a red card, as you will see. While Celtic fans will be pleased with the win and the performance, moments like this could easily have gone the other way. As Sutton knows, discipline and composure will be key if Martin O'Neill's side are to mount a serious title challenge in the months ahead. He'll need to calm down a bit going forward, and I'm sure someone will be having a word in his ear. Now for the main story, as Odin Thiago Holm has returned to Celtic this winter transfer window, but the midfielder is already seeking another move away from the club. According to Mark Hendry on his Substack, the 22-year-old is not expected to remain in Glasgow for long, with his representatives actively exploring loan options elsewhere. The Norwegian midfielder arrived back in Glasgow after a poor spell in MLS with LAFC, which saw him lack minutes. A switch to the United States was meant to accelerate his development, but Holm made just 5 senior appearances for Los Angeles, leaving both clubs and the player feeling that the move never truly worked out. Holm's return to Celtic sees him link up with Martin O'Neill, who is now in interim charge. But according to Hendry, Holm's focus isn't on fighting for a first-team place or impressing the new boss. It's on finding another loan destination where he can get regular minutes. The midfielder's lack of game time has been a recurring theme in his short career. He featured sparingly under Brendan Rodgers, the manager who initially sanctioned his exit to MLS, and it seems those frustrations have carried over. Holm and his representatives are said to have made it clear he wants to try somewhere else, rather than stay and compete in Glasgow. It's not expected that the former Vålerenga man will feature for Celtic this season. Instead, his camp are actively searching for another temporary move, with interest reportedly coming from clubs in Austria, Norway, and MLS. Back in October, it was revealed he had been battling a rare calf condition that left him feeling half paralysed when playing. Celtic originally paid around £2.3 million for Holm, securing him on a long 5-year contract from Norway with hopes he would develop into a midfield mainstay. His last competitive minutes came in August for LAFC 2. At just 22, Holm's career is still young, but if he is planning another move before the summer, it will be telling about where he sees his future and whether Celtic remains part of it at all. In other news, Kyogo Furuhashi has been at the centre of discussion among Celtic supporters this week. Rumours swirled that Celtic were exploring a potential loan deal for their former striker, who has struggled for form at Birmingham City since his summer move. There was genuine hope within sections of the support that a short-term reunion could be engineered, with Birmingham seemingly open to the idea of letting Kyogo leave temporarily in search of minutes and confidence. Last January, Kyogo departed Celtic for Rennes, where he again found it tough going before moving on to the Championship club 6 months later. Celtic have still not adequately replaced him, and the fact that they were even considering bringing Kyogo back to replace Kyogo felt emblematic of a recruitment strategy that has lacked clarity. In the end, the loan move never came to fruition, but Kyogo still made headlines on Saturday. He started for Birmingham in their FA Cup victory over Cambridge United and played his part on the day, scoring the second, which undoubtedly boosted his morale. After the game, Birmingham boss Chris Davies spoke warmly about Kyogo's performance and the belief around him at St Andrews. He said, "He was really good tonight. The second goal is all about Kyogo. He made it for himself by chasing a lost cause, nicked it, and then a big touch out of his feet and takes his goal well. You can see the reaction from all the players, himself, the fans, the staff, everyone. Everyone is chuffed for him, and it meant a lot to him. For Kyogo, it's goals and confidence. He will take a lot from that goal. He's got a lot of backing. The fans have been great with him. He works hard, he's quick, he always gets a chance. We have just got to hope now that he takes those more consistently. He has our full support to do it. It's a reminder of just how dangerous Kyogo can be when he's sharp, something that he, the club and fans all needed after a really tough period. After Martin O'Neill said a deal is now unlikely, and his goal, it looks like Kyogo is continuing his chapter at Birmingham, looking to push for a starting place and become a star player for the side. He's more than capable of it, and hopefully his goal helps him kick on and become that. Celtic must bring in at least one striker to help kick on and push for this league title. In other news, former SFA referees Des Roach and Steve Conroy, speaking through their Ref's View podcast account on X, have criticised a highly questionable decision by referee Nick Walsh in Celtic's win over Dundee United. The controversy centres on a situation involving Dyson Maeda and the updated 8-second rule introduced over the summer to curb time wasting by goalkeepers. Under the rule, a goalkeeper must release the ball from his hands within 8 seconds. Failing to do so should result in a corner for the opposition. In this instance, Walsh did not enforce the rule. Instead, he awarded Dundee United a free kick, even though the goalkeeper had held the ball for 17 seconds, more than double the permitted time. This meant Celtic were denied a potential corner, a decision that did not go unnoticed on Twitter. The Ref's View podcast tweeted, 8-second law was introduced to prevent time wasting by the GK. It was introduced to prevent this very scenario. Penalising Maeda was an absolute nonsense and purely a deflection by the referee. The hosts were clear that the whole point of the updated guideline is to prevent exactly this kind of delay. Instead, Maeda was penalised and United were given a set piece, even though the goalkeeper had clearly breached the 8-second limit. This decision, coupled with another controversial moment earlier in the match involving Julian Araujo's challenge, which many felt should have resulted in a red card, made it a difficult day in terms of officiating. All football fans want consistency, and it's important we call out decisions when we are winning and losing. Lastly, you'd be forgiven for assuming that Jemai Simpson-Pusey is still a Celtic player because the club hasn't said a single word about his exit. The 20-year-old was quietly removed from Celtic's current squad list on the club website, but there has been no social media announcement from Celtic confirming that his loan has been terminated. No thank you message, no good luck post, nothing at all. What makes it even more unusual, he's already played a full 90 minutes in the Bundesliga for FC Köln. Simpson-Pusey, who arrived on loan from Manchester City, made just one senior appearance for Celtic, a 63-minute outing at right back against Hibernian under Martin O'Neill. After that, his minutes dried up under Wilfried Nancy, and he never featured again. And yet, just weeks later, he started for Köln, not as a substitute, but playing the full 90 minutes in a 2-2 draw with Heidenheim, operating on the left of a back three. So why hasn't Celtic said anything? Normally, when a player leaves, whether permanently or temporarily, even clubs with the tightest social media policies make some form of acknowledgement. A quick post-acknowledging service, or even just a loan termination message, is standard practice, especially for a young player who did take the field for the club. Instead, Celtic have stayed silent. And that's all the latest Celtic news for today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more daily Celtic updates. Drop a comment below with your thoughts on Araujo's challenge, Holm's situation, or the club's communication issues. We'll be back tomorrow with more news from Paradise. Hail, hail.